Hi, I am here with my March favorites video. As it seems I've done in my last two videos, I'm going to start off by talking about my favorite books, which are the only two books I read in March. I'm doing a terrible job at reading this year so far. The first book here is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. Oh my goodness, you guys, this book was so precious and adorable and cozy and wonderful and funny and sweet and cute and everything I ever imagined it could be. The only thing that I do have to mention though, like the back of the book, it says a novel of high fantasy and low stakes. It's right here. I'm going to tell you right now, those are lies. There are very high stakes in this book and it gets very stressful. Just thought I'd warn you for people who think they're going into this cozy story that has nothing bad. Bad things. There are bad things in it. But for the most part, it is super cute and cozy and adorable and lovely and wonderful and precious. This is about an orc who opens up a coffee shop. Nobody knows what coffee is, but this orc has tried coffee and is like, this is amazing. I'm going to make a coffee shop. And everyone's like, this drink is amazing. And it's just about her and this succubus that she hires, and their journey opening a coffee shop. It's fantastic. There's a little bit of intrigue and then some stressful stuff. But it's so cute. And like, I feel like for a lot of people, they'll hear, oh, it's a fantasy story about an orc who opens a coffee shop. That sounds boring. It's not. It's precious as fuck. Look at all my tabs. These are all funny things and precious things. Funny and precious. This book is... Anyway, I adored this book. I want to cuddle it. The next book that I read was Orange Volume 2 by Ishigo Takano. I can't tell you much about this because it is a sequel, but it is a precious little manga that's also kind of sad, but mostly it's just precious and adorable. And it is about a group of friends in high school who befriend this new kid, and they actually end up getting letters from their future selves from 10 years in the future, giving them basically instructions on how to be friends with this new kid so that he doesn't kill himself. So their future selves are writing from a future where this new friend has ended his life, and they are trying to stop that from happening and trying to fix all the mistakes that they made. And mostly it's just cuteness of friends being friends and people with crushes on each other not knowing how to deal with having crushes on each other and being silly and ridiculous. But it's super cute. I love the facial expressions in it, and it just warmed my heart. I really enjoyed this series. Also, somebody who follows me on TikTok got me this book off my Amazon wishlist, and that was so sweet of them, and it made my day, and I have the little note that came with it, and I'm going to put it inside so that when I take it off my shelf, I'll see the little note that they gave me with it. Okay, my next favorite thing is a movie, which is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. My friend and I watched this movie solely because of the meme from it that was very, very popular on TikTok. We were just like, we need to watch the movie that it's from. And also it has Pedro Pascal in it, so let's do it. Best decision I've made all year so far. It was like everything. It was everything that a movie could be. Anything that you want to be in a movie, it was in it. So, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent is a fictional story about Nicolas Cage, played by Nicolas Cage, where he basically is coming to an end in his career and he can't get any new parts, and he's been living in a hotel because his marriage is falling apart. And so he ends up deciding to take a job, which is not a movie. It is just to attend a super fan's birthday party. He's going to get paid $1 million. And so he decides to do that. And that's going to be his last thing that he does before he completely decides he's not going to be an actor anymore. And he goes to this super fan's house, who is Pedro Pascal, who is hoping that Nicolas Cage is going to be in a movie with him that he's written. And he ends up like really liking this guy. Nicolas Cage and Pedro Pascal's character, Javi, really end up kind of hitting it off. And he's like, I was really nervous that this guy was going to be like a nut job, but he's actually really cool and we get along really well. But then turns out that Javi is actually this, like, crime lord who's wanted by the CIA. And it's so funny. Okay, it's hilarious. It's suspenseful. It's intriguing. It's mysterious. It's twisty. It has twists and turns. It's got action. And it's also wholesome and adorable. It's fantastic. It made us laugh. It made us gasp. It made us cry. It was amazing. And I want everyone to watch this movie. And I want to watch it again right now, kind of. It was so good. It was not at all what I was expecting, and I was not expecting to love it as much as I did, but it was fantastic. My next favorite is a video game, and that is It Takes Two, which I've been playing on the Switch. I actually got it on Christmas. I bought it just from the Nintendo eShop so that my mom and I could play something together because it's a cooperative game. You need two of you to play it, and we made it just past the first boss level, and then didn't really know what we were supposed to do after. And then in March, I picked it up again with my niece and nephew. We started from the beginning, and the three of us just kept switching controllers and taking turns as we played, and made it a little bit farther than my mom and I did when we were playing. And then my friend SJ and I picked up from where me and my niece and nephew had left off, and got pretty far, and made it through like 2 more boss levels. It's a lot of fun. And it's really cool the way it's like cooperative. It's like kind of cooperative in the way the like the Lego games are. As we got farther into the game, I feel like the puzzles in It Takes Two are a little bit more complicated, and they take more precision and better timing and stuff like that than like the Lego games. But I still think that if you like the Lego games, you would probably really like It Takes Two. We had so much fun playing it. We haven't beat it yet, but we played for a good chunk of hours. It was fantastic, and I would really like to play it more and finish the game. And my last favorite that I want to talk about is another board game, and this is a board game that we have played for the second time. We played it once a year or 2 ago, and we played it again a couple weeks ago, and it's fantastic. It's a cooperative game. It turns out cooperative board games, I think, are my favorite types of board games. I think I've come to realize. It's called Betrayal at the House on the Hill. I think it's not a very good name, but it's a very good game. So basically, the premise is that you are a bunch of people who are trapped in this haunted house, and when the game first starts, all that is of the house is a hallway and a set of stairs. And as each person moves, you get to discover new rooms, and discovering a new room is adding a new room to the house. So basically, wherever you go, you get to add onto a room. And there are different things that can happen to people who go into the rooms. And basically the whole point is to gain knowledge and wisdom and strength and speed as you're going through the house and discovering all the rooms in the house, and also collect items and stuff like that before the game switches gears and a haunting starts. So once the haunting starts, depending on who makes it happen, one person in the game is the person who's haunting everybody else in the game. So it's like mostly cooperative. It's like everyone against one person. And then everyone gets new roles and what you're supposed to do in order to win the game. So the person who's doing the haunting has to leave the room so they can't hear everybody else discussing what they're going to be doing and what their strategy is. And then the person who has left the room also gets like this new thing to read that tells them what their goal is, and they have to figure out a strategy. And there are 50 different types of haunts, so you can play the game 50 times and have it be different every time. And it's funny too, because I was actually really confused about what we were supposed to do during the haunt when we played this second time, because our objective was wildly different from what we were supposed to do the first time that we played. So basically, I remember the first time that we played, I can't remember what kind of creature was haunting us, but our goal was to go to a certain room in the house that had a certain number of objects in it and bring it to another room and like throw it down a trash chute or something like that. And so you can only take a certain amount of steps in each turn, and then you have to go through certain doorways in order to get to certain rooms. And when you go through certain rooms, it makes you go crazy, or lots of things happen to you. You lose your sanity, you lose speed, stuff like that. And I remember I had a dog that could go farther than I could, so I could send my dog to go get objects, which was really cool. And this time when we played, it was Dracula who was haunting us, and we just had to kill Dracula and his bride, who he just turned, and not be turned into vampires ourselves. And 2 of us got turned into vampires, but we won. We beat the vampires. We killed Dracula and his bride. It was fun. We played it for probably 3.5 hours, I think. It is a long game. But I think cooperative games that are long are way better than not cooperative games that are long. Because, for one, it's not stressful in the same way that a regular board game is, because you can discuss things with each other and go over things with each other and figure out what you're supposed to do on your next move. So even you could have no idea what you should do on your next move, but everyone else can tell you what to do. And because it's cooperative, we're all having conversations and trying to figure things out. So it's like almost as if we're actually in a situation where we have to figure these things out together. And so it was like, we didn't even realize we'd been playing it for so long. So I love this game, and I would love to play it with like my family members and stuff. I don't know if they like these kinds of games though, but I think it would be so fun to get a copy of this game myself and play it with other people too, because it's fantastic. I'm really excited about all the different board games I've been discovering over the last couple of years. And I have one more favorites that I want to show you that I didn't think about adding, and I just realized now that I should add it, so I'll be right back. Are you ready for this? It's very exciting. It's a very big deal. It's my book! It's the proof copy of my newest book! And here's the spine and the back. I'm so excited. It looks beautiful. It's beautiful. And I'll show you the inside. Oh, God. There's also a playlist that I have in the back of the book for people. You can totally listen to it before reading the book if you want, but I feel like it will have more impact if you listen to it after having read the book. Also, listening to it before reading the book might, like, spoil vibes, because the songs are in order. Like, if you listen to them in order, like, this is the order of events in the book, basically. So the vibes of the songs change throughout the playlist, and so it might spoil, like, the direction the vibes of the story go in. So maybe don't listen to it right away, but if you don't care, or if you're not very good at like interpreting vibes of songs or whatever, then you can listen to it. It's just called Turning 30 on Spotify, and 30 is in brackets. 30 is not in brackets on Goodreads though, and it won't be on Amazon or anything either, because I wasn't sure if the brackets was going to make that confusing, because I know on Goodreads book series are in brackets, and so it would look like the book is called Turning and that the series is called 30. So, and I thought it might be easier for people to search for it, because if someone just says, oh, I want to read this book called Turning 30, they might not think that it would be in brackets. So when you search for it, there's no brackets, but the cover it's in brackets. And I'll read the back if you want. Turning 30 isn't a big deal. It's fine even. And Reese is totally fine and can totally turn 30 without freaking out. Well, she's going to freak out, but not because she's turning 30. At her birthday party, Reese meets Felix, and she's immediately captivated by him. But she's drunk, so that doesn't count, right? He makes her laugh, but he also makes her question her sanity. Or maybe she's questioning his sanity? Because you see, Felix is fantastic in every way, besides the weird things that he does and scary things he seems to believe. Reese has a battle with herself and her best friend over whether or not this Felix guy is for real, over whether or not he's dangerous. But after experiencing something herself that should be impossible, Reese starts to realize that maybe Felix isn't actually unsafe to be around. Maybe he's even her safest option. After all, Reese has never felt so comfortable with anyone in her entire life, and Felix feels the same way. Given their circumstances, though, making the relationship work is easier said than done. But it doesn't hurt to pretend. Anyway, I'm so excited. I guess I'll announce here. I haven't made an announcement, but anyway, it's coming out June 1st. And as soon as you're able to pre-order it, I will let you know. I'm still waiting on my proof from Ingram. This is my Amazon proof. Ingram is being a little pain in my ass. So I was really hoping that it would be underway at this point, because it does take a bit of time for Ingram to get your book in the system of all the bookstores so that it can be ordered. And I wanted there to be like at least a month where people can pre-order it ahead of time. Like I was hoping that like by May 1st, I could tell people you can pre-order it. I'm not sure at this point if that's what's going to happen, but whether or not you can pre-order it a big chunk of time before the release date or not, I'm still going for June 1st for a release date. So anyway, we'll end that there. Okay, yeah, bye. Have a good day.